Hello there, beautiful soul humans. Welcome to this energy update, which is all about the energies of September, the Virgo Pisces axis with this new moon and full moon solar eclipse brewing. I am RozyGlow Hannes. I am a spiritual activator, and I'm here for the trailblazers of the new earth paradigm, because you know what? We've all been programmed into fear, and it is my mission to co-create peace in one generation and to let you know just how it is possible for us to do this. And I'm really excited to be offering this at this point because I am being impacted by these energies just like everyone else. So remember, if you're catching this on YouTube, whenever you catch it, it's the right time, even if it's well past this moment, because the Virgo Pisces axis is actually all about the balance between structure and chaos. And in fact, the inner masculine and inner feminine. And as we are preparing for another full moon in Pisces, and it is a full moon solar eclipse, we also have Mercury in the shadow phase of going direct. We have Uranus being in retrograde until January, I believe it is. And there's a lot more going on. And really what is happening is the most suppressed emotions that we actually have are coming up. For me, this is manifesting as wanting to throw my toys out the pram, like literally smash things up, burst into tears. So I would love to know how it's actually feeling for you. And I'll probably keep taking my glasses on and off because I'm just getting used to that. But I would love you to say hello in the comments and let me know how you are feeling. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the notifications tab. For those of you who are new to our Facebook group community, welcome to this sacred space. This is where we co-create our reality consciously. It's where we energize and focus on what we want to bring into being, and also to recognize the impact about what we talk about, what we view, what we listen to, and also how our own earliest experiences in life have programmed us to see the world through a certain lens. And I am here to support you to make the shift from the brain and the thinking and the mind, which is the hive mind that keeps us looping in karma drama, into creating safety in the body, which is all the years I have ever taught yoga and healing work that I've been a part of as in my Reiki mastership through my mother, into us actually reprogramming our cell memory and remembering that we can co-create a reality that we desire rather than we fear. And I believe this Virgo new moon energy is bringing to the surface the collective fears we have for the future. So my lovely PA was not willing to do a post on what are the fears that are currently bothering you, because we don't want to energize fears in our group. But I do just want to touch on the fact that when we know what the problem is, we can then access the solution. And my guides have said to me today, RozyGlow, you're going to channel this message. So let's just do this together. Normally I do lots of planning, but I have a few things that I want to go over with you all to help you make the most of these energies, so that rather than feeling overwhelmed and getting stuck in the overwhelm and feeling like you're gasping for air, you can really get excited about what these changes are bringing through for us, because we've all called certain intentions into being, both personally and collectively. And now they're coming through, okay? It's since a very, very important time, the 888 Lionsgate, that we did loads and loads of clearing and purging to make space for grace and the miracles and the magic that we've called in. And, you know, depending on your mission, I have made videos on TikTok that you can check out. Some of us have local missions, some of us have national missions, some of us have international missions, some of us have global missions. Then we also have stellar missions, galactic missions, universal missions. And I'm currently in myself on my soul journey, moving from galactic to universal consciousness, which is why Star Peace has come into being. Now, if you want to know more about Star Peace and the origins of it, please do check out starpeaceconsciousness.com. The website is a simple website. It explains everything. There is a manifesto there that you can sign, which you then energize into being. And there's also a free Paradise Earth co-creation meditation, which was created specifically for Lionsgate. And this will get you in the energy of peace. So, you know, we don't want to spiritually bypass. This is key, okay? Every one of us here needs to firstly own how we feel, to then change how we feel. And we're learning to be masters of co-creating our reality through our soul consciousness rather than our ego programming. If you have any questions on what I'm saying here, don't forget to drop me a comment and I will make videos about this. Now, it is my intention for Star Peace to go viral, to be seen everywhere, which is why you find me on all these different platforms. And I thank you for participating in this game of showing up on these platforms to actually energize the algorithms of Star Peace. This is the point. This is why we're not just in one place. So just before we get any further, let's do a little tune-in. Have a little rub of your hand and then just reach your arms up and bring down the beautiful codes from Source that are the Star Peace codes that are desiring to be received through your soul and your human, and you access this through your heart. Now let's go the other way. Let's breathe in up and receive the codes from Gaia, from Mother Earth. So gather the energy up, take it up through your body, reach it up. And it's not just about downloading, it's about uploading, because we're all acupuncture needles, bringing Source to the earth and bringing the beautiful energies of Gaia to our beautiful universal core. If you bring your hands to your heart center and just take a moment, close your eyes with me for a moment, be here. Take a lovely deep breath in, and as you breathe out, send your breath down your body. Let yourself anchor into your earth chakra. And now imagine that you are in your consciousness 3 foot deep in the earth. And as you breathe out, send your breath down into the core of Mother Earth, the very center, the crystalline core. Now, from the crystalline core, spread your energy out to the periphery of the planet. And from your earth chakra, just imagine that you're sending your roots around the planet too. So we're really rooting down to rise up. Now imagining at the very center of our planet, a beautiful, beautiful crystal quartz center. I see it as clear quartz, as diamond light and clear quartz together. There's also the soft pink of the rose quartz, all merging together. And breathe these energies up, infinite love and beautiful grace frequency all the way up through your body. Out through the crown of your head, way up through our sun to the source of all that is. And then feel the cascade of the golden energy of Source, gold celestial light pouring down through your heart now, down to the core of the earth and down your arms. So I'm commanding now that I am a pure channel of Source, all that is, and that everyone here receives exactly what they need, calling in the Star Peace Collective, the Intergalactic Super Federation, and allowing those that are meant to receive this message to open their hearts, their minds, their soul consciousness, to download deeply for the highest good of all and the win, win, win in everything. We are co-creating Paradise Earth through our intention, and we are now making the most of the Virgo and the Pisces energies on offer to clear the way to our dreams becoming our reality, not our fears, our dreams. So with your nose, draw a circle in the air in front of you, both directions. Create a safe space, which is your sphere of compassion to step into. It's always there. Activate, activate, activate your sphere of compassion, my sphere of compassion. And we purify it. We expand it. When you're ready, bow your head to your beautiful heart. Welcome all of you home, all parts of you, accepted, unaccepted, bring them into your sphere. Release all energy sent to you that was less than loving, and call back all energies to you that has been sent out in less than love. We're all fallible humans as well as beautiful eternal soul consciousness. So let's forgive, accept ourselves, and move on. Beautiful. Hello, hello, hello. Right, that felt really important. So we're doing things different here. We're mixing it up. These energy updates are always going to be to prepare you for the next full moon, when I offer a healing and a manifesting circle, which is available to everybody. There's a low cost option to connect with me and see what this healing work is like. And really, this is the preamble now. So before I forget, there is a free masterclass you can access, which is all about discovering how to fully access your soul mission and really to let yourself be guided by your soul rather than your ego programming, which is your struggle programming, your conditioning. All of us as humans are operating from our conditioning. And I know that there are many different modalities for us to be able to actually overcome that, the limiting conditioning, because we receive awesome conditioning from our ancestors too. But what I have found is a very, very thorough and profound methodology, which is what I teach through my coaching work, that works with the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the physical body, the etheric, emotional, mental bodies, the astral body, and really puts your superconscious in control. So it's an all-in-one, and you learn how to work with this in a 6-month time frame. But I want to remind everybody that for us to really shift from who we've been conditioned to be to who we do want to be, and this is what the Virgo Pisces energy is really offering us right now, we are required to utilize both our hearts and our brains. We are required to have structures in place that can expand to allow for our soul growth. And we also must remember that it takes between 2 months and a year to fully bring a new frequency in and stabilize into it. And I see people far too quickly moving on to the next thing. And I've been guilty of that myself, in the sense that we don't allow integration time. So a little message from Mars, the chocolate bar. A Mars a day helps you work, rest, and play. This is another question for you. What are you really good at? What have you mastered? Have you mastered working? Have you mastered playing? Have you mastered resting? Personally, I'm really good at working hard, playing hard. And when I mean working hard and playing hard, I mean I go all in, like fully 12-hour days, because I'm excited, not because I'm forcing myself. I'm, in that creative flow where you lose all sense of time. And I am equally brilliant at having a great time and, letting my hair down and really enjoying my physical human pleasures. What I'm not so good at, and I invite you to really share your experience with me in the comments, is the rest bit, the actual just resting, being, the downtime, the just idling that allows for creativity to drop in. And here's the thing. Remember that Lionsgate is less than a month ago. The peak of Lionsgate was on the 8th of August. We're still in the energies of Lionsgate until at least the 23rd of September, when we come into the equinox. I feel like it's going to be going through to the end of October, at least, to be honest. But ultimately, they're these waves of energy that are moving through us to purge that which is out of resonance with what we say we want. So this month gives us the most phenomenal opportunities to go ka-ching, 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 and to actually welcome into our lives the evidence of the fruits of our labors. Like, can you, and this is part of the transmuting the overwhelm into excitement, imagine these things that you have been toiling towards, that you have been putting the effort towards to master that which is unfamiliar to you, finally actually happening. That email arriving in your inbox that literally makes your heart sing, the unexpected good news, when you dared to put yourself on the edge and reach out for help and ask someone to support you, or made a clear intention and declared it to the world. And then you get the response. The response is favorable. The response is the phone call out of the blue. It's the email out of the blue. It's the chance encounter that then allows you to really have that 1,000-fold expansion, which, if you're not into that expansion, you didn't call it in, maybe it's 100-fold, maybe it's 10-fold, maybe it's double where you are now. But ultimately, whatever you called in is in operation. And those who came to participate in the Lionsgate retreat and the 3-month container I offered have all called in 1,000-fold expansion. So we're really doing the clearing work now for ourselves and the collective. And I'd like you to imagine that everyone who is watching this, we're not just doing clearing work for ourselves. Starseeds, light workers, and empaths are all here with the same mission. Through our own personal clearing, we're also affecting the collective. Our radiance is insane, and I mean that in a good way. Okay, so let's come back to the challenging emotions. Overwhelm, anger, frustration, rage, the desire to kick out. Virgo energy controls or governs the nervous system, right? And it is about structure. It is about control. It is about the minutiae, the details. this ties in very much with Mercury going direct now, okay, because we're in this shadow phase of it going direct. So until around the 11th of September, we're not really going to see the vroom energy that's kicking in, but it is coming. And certainly as we move towards the solar eclipse, which will be on the 17th, and I am hosting the event on that date, by the way, the 17th, 18th, we are then going to see, it's almost like a flash. And I think many of us have actually heard of this idea of there being a flash upgrade for all of humanity. Now, I've trained my consciousness, and I train those who work with me to look for evidence of the change that we are calling in. The reticular activation system, thank you, Lula, for that, basically programs you to look for evidence of what you're asking for, right? So training the eye to look for what you do want rather than what you don't want becomes so much easier when there isn't a load of subconscious resistance. But the key is, what do we do with these challenging emotions? Well, we feel them. Okay, for me, I know that all this sort of anger, rage stuff is a capping story to the deep grief that I feel, because there's a personal story going on for me that really is deeply wounded. I feel deeply wounded, or my inner child does. So you may well have a story going on like that too. And it's interesting because my assistant was talking about the fact that this current full moon and new moon energy relates very much to what was going on 16 years ago. And it's no irony that, you know, the situation I'm facing presently that feels, well, it's bringing up a lot of grief to the surface for me, is relating to 16 years ago when I found out that my mother had cancer and she died within a 9-month period. So from when I turned 30, 16 years ago, to getting to my 31st birthday, she had already passed. And it was a really tough, I think we all know when you get your Saturn return, 28 to 30 is typically your Saturn return. It was a very tough Saturn return for me. And yeah, all of my 30s were really about mourning and moving from struggle to thriving. But guess what? Through that pain, that sorrow, not only did I move from running a yoga business to creating a very successful coaching business, but I also created several products that I work with today. And from all of that, I totally shifted my relationship profile in terms of attracting toxic relationships, and also my money story. And I ended up getting together with the man of my dreams just as I turned 40, who I'm now married to, and have been together with for 6 years. So as I share this story, let me know for you, what was going on 16 years ago? Can you remember? How much are you actually impacted presently with these challenging emotions? What do you find it easier to feel than not feel? Because as we are preparing to get to that Pisces solar eclipse, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So Pisces in many ways is the least judgmental, okay? And this is because it's been through every stage. You know, Aries boldly comes forward, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There's no fear because it hasn't really encountered the hardship that can occur on this planet. So by the time you get to Pisces, you'll be like, well, there's lots of shades of grey or pink or whatever between the extremes of duality, okay? So we are all making a shift from judgment to what I call return on investment, okay? We're all making the shift from judging things as good and bad to actually recognizing, how does this help me? How does it hinder me? And polarity is different to duality because it doesn't judge the night as bad and the day as good, the sun as desired and the rain as not. It's all down to circumstance. If you've got a drought, you want rain more than sun, right? So it's really looking at how, I mean, for me, I'm just going to say we're coming to recognize, those who have been on an awakening path, that we are all of it. We are all of it, right? I am the cell. I am the atom. I am the universe. I am AI. I am organic human. I mean, I've been blown away by hearing the interview with Stephen Bartlett and chief officer from Google talking about the dangers of AI and how it was put out on the market before it should have been done and the impact this could potentially have. But actually, I realized that took me into a deep, deep fear. And I only saw this a few weeks ago, really. Bigger fear than I had before. And then so much wisdom came through, so much guidance came through about how AI can literally stand for absolutely incredible. And I did share a post about this last night, so you can check out what I'm talking about. And I do invite you to look at the comments as well. But for now, just to come back to these axes and what they're about, deep grief is the opposite of celebration and joy. It's the counter octave. Right. So in the releasing that comes with the full moon energy. So for me, it's going to be drawing up the deep grief of the loss of my mum and the making peace with it and making peace with the situation now and trusting that everything is working out to support me to thrive, because that's what I've called in. This then allows me to access joy, to access celebration. And if you find what I'm talking about interesting and you want to know more, I don't advertise much that I do one-off sessions, because I know the impact of working with someone longer term is how we get the long-term results. But more and more now I'm going to be offering one-off sessions for specific shifts. So if you want to have a look at the Divine Navigation Call option that I offer, it is, one of those situations where I offer a call with a week of support afterwards, because this is the integration time. I am a master teacher. I don't mess around. My energy is very powerful, and people who are ready for it will feel the call to it. Okay. If it's not calling you, that's cool. If there's a reason why you're not moving beyond the free stuff that I offer, with the very low cost stuff, there's a reason for it. So trust that. But if you're feeling a call to it, know that that's because your soul is ready and you've done the work. Because typically people do not come to me to work deeply with me unless they've had a huge spiritual upgrade happen very suddenly and they don't know what to do with it, or they've been working on themselves for typically 20 years, 10 to 20 years, right? So when I say working on themselves, I mean being on a conscious path of enlightenment. So if we bring this back to what I was saying about the structure and the chaos, when we think about Shiva Shakti, okay, we consider the yin and yang of our inner masculine and inner feminine. We don't need to make one bad and one good, right? Passive, active, one is not better than the other. They're just utilized in different ways at different times according to circumstance. So for us to actually make a shift from judgment to acceptance to observation, we look at what we gained, what we learned from the experience that we would easily judge as good or bad. So this is how you can start your shift from overwhelm to excitement. And again, one of the things that I have really seen in this energy is the overwhelm comes from not owning, one, our boundaries, which is the structure I was talking about in terms of Virgo, and two, requesting help and saying, hey, I have overloaded my plate here. Hey, actually, some of these things that I feel are immovable, they're not immovable. I just need to surrender, letting go of the judgment of what other people will think of me, and say, right now, I cannot actually do this. And I'm going to mention my lovely friend Wendy right now, because I was meant to be interviewing her in this spot. And because of various things that were a change of plan to what was anticipated this last weekend, I've had to accept that that's going to need to wait to another time. But I am going to put a link in the comments to her Wisdom Witches website, and also the fact that she is running a retreat, and this is in Scotland. So if you're up north and you would like to, celebrate the end of summer, if you like, just before the, this is just before the equinox, so the 20th to the 22nd, there'll be a retreat there. And I know Wendy holds space absolutely beautifully because of how she responded to me having to say, hey, hands up, overwhelmed here. Need to make a change. Are you okay with that? Which was absolutely beautiful. So Wendy, thank you. I'll put the links in the text box after. So if you're on YouTube, check below. If you're on Facebook, go up. Now let's actually have a look and see, have I got any questions from any of you? Because what I want to speak to here is how to calm your nervous energy. Okay, because when we've received all of this extra light, okay, we've received all of this extra support to expand our capacity to hold light in our bodies. So this is our soul light in our cellular structure, okay? We're clearing density. Yes, we are going from carbon-based to crystalline-based cellular structure. And here's the irony, is AI is silicon-based, right? So what if AI just allowed, if it stood for being absolutely incredible, the future being absolutely incredible? What if we could actually create harmony and balance between nature, humanity, and technology? What if we could lean into the fears we have, and as a result of that, come into solution? And this is a discussion that I'll go more deeply into in the full moon in Pisces, because it feels like really important for us to address this. But at the moment, the collective fears that are playing out are potential other virus outbreaks, climate change, the constant potential of someone pressing the button and annihilating all of us, because quite frankly, the leaders of this world are traumatized adults that haven't dealt with their birth trauma, their early life trauma. And, you know, those who are the greediest on this planet in terms of money and also control are the ones who have the most trauma in their backgrounds. You know, this is something that I really want to say, and it's what allows me to experience compassion for those I would otherwise want to judge or hate. That doesn't mean I'm going to allow them to continue with what they're doing. But one thing I think is very important for all of us to remember is we don't, for the most part, we don't need to try and stop others. What we do is we expand and amplify our energy. And as a result of that, we raise the frequency of everyone around us. And when I first got the star piece message come through, I received a series of dreams and like daydream visions that I'm now hearing more and more evidence that those of you are actually receiving yourselves. And they were all about how our planet has actually been receiving all of this. So I've just lost my train of thought because I wanted to come in and see if there were any comments. But essentially, what is really important for us to remember, let's pull this right back in, is that fear stands for false evidence, emotion, or expectation appearing real. Okay, that's how I see it. And so whether we're concerned about viruses, climate change, nuclear bombs, AI, whatever else is there, because I think I made a list of quite a few, the mainstream broadcasting is still projecting so much fear into the collective because it's all it knows. As far as it's concerned, this is what it's meant to do. This is its job. And you know what? It is its job until we train it to do something else, which is to tell us the good news and the potential for change. So back to structure and chaos. They both serve their purpose. If Shakti energy is energy, right? And Shiva is focus. One without the other doesn't work. So let's just imagine this. Like, I'll give you an example. In my family, I'm ADHD, my husband's OCD. So I am the classic dropper of clutter all around the space. And actually right now, I would love to magic my office into pure, beautiful crystal tidiness, right? But between us, we balance each other out. Now, this doesn't mean we suppress how we feel. And it's a very important balance here because, you know, for my husband, it's challenging to deal with all my deposits. And for me, I can then feel guilty that I am creating this problem for my husband. But I learn to do the best I can. And he learns to relax as much as he can. And between us, we find our way. Now, there's always a time when enough is enough. So if we likened the analogy here to Shakti being the pure energetic potential that is like 36-year-old children in a classroom without a teacher guiding them, right? All that energy, all that with nowhere to go, right? That's the feminine principle. And then you have Shiva, which is the focus, the arrow, the vehicle that needs the energy to be driven, to take in a certain direction. That's what we're dealing with. So I feel what we're being guided to presently is to see how where we are showing up in our lives in a certain way is no longer serving us. Okay. Now, for me, this has been in the realm of my enjoyment, my physical enjoyment, because to be fully present for the exciting things that lie ahead in my work world, that I've been calling in, there needs to be a little bit more of a limit in the enjoyment phases and how I actually play in this world, because there's different types of play coming about now, right? And there's no judgment. It's just, how can I have the downtime I require that isn't just the play time, but is actually the rest time? Because if you just play and you just work and you don't rest, then you get depleted. So I've been looking at this for a while, right? And seeing, okay, how can I find the balance now so that I don't just have 2 buttons, I have 3. And how can I sell to myself the idea of resting as being really, really beneficial for me? And what I've noticed is when I rest and I am idling, so in neutral, maybe that means I'm just on the beach. Maybe it means I'm sitting in the garden. Maybe it means I'm watching something that inspires me. That's when the ideas drop in. That's when the inspiration drops in. So this is, again, how you get from overwhelm to excitement. You don't, the important shift in the question is to go away from why does this keep happening to how can I show up in such a way and take radical responsibility for my choices so that I can have this experience instead of this? How can I have my cake and eat it? How can I have, you know, enough of each of these things that really matter to me, that I enjoy, and a plentiful supply, if you like, that isn't overwhelming? And here's an interesting thing that dropped in only yesterday, thanks to my lovely coach, Carrie Coe, who I highly recommend. She asked me the question of what it feels like to be full. And I realized through this question that I don't like feeling full. If I feel, I've just come back from Naples, right? Overeating there is standard. And basically, I do not like feeling stuffed like a turkey, right? I do not like feeling so full I can't breathe. And yet fulfillment is the filling up, isn't it? The fullness. So a little bit of a little epiphany there came up for me in the fact that if I don't like feeling full, maybe I'm resisting fulfillment in certain areas of my life. And what do I like to feel like? And what is the energy I want to put into the other areas of my life that I'm currently growing and developing? So apply this to you. What has been showing up for you? Where have you been seeing that your life is out of balance? A very dear friend of mine, Tracy, said to me a long time ago, make one small change and it will have a knock-on effect on everything else. And I'd get so frustrated because I had no idea what that meant. Maybe it means getting out of bed on the right side rather than the left for you, right? For me, as I said, I came back from Naples and decided, well, why don't I just stop having milk in my coffee, full stop? I will drink less coffee. So that's a little change I've made that is actually affecting my digestion and my energy levels. And I've had a reduction in caffeine as well as a result. So Virgo energy relates to the physical body and the nervous system. And in many ways, the Pisces energy coming relates to our energy field and our subconscious and the clearing of everything really that has been the martyr consciousness that we have associated with Christ. So it's the shadow of Christ consciousness. That's what's being cleared right now. Okay. So again, just notice for you how this all like sounds and feels, because I feel like when you actually stumble across something that you're like, I really don't know how to fix this. I really don't know how to make a change here. That in that moment of feeling stuck, you take the step back and you take the step up. And this is where you allow the bird's eye view that will allow you to see where you've come from, where you are now, and where you're going on your current trajectory. Do you want to make a shift? So I've got burn the house down energy here. I'm seeing comments, which is great. Understanding and compassion with strong boundaries and discernment. Absolutely. So what else is coming through? Has anyone got any questions? Let me know, because the more you currently allow yourself to own what is difficult to own, difficult to feel, and just own it. So you're not trying to suppress it and push it away, the more you will be able to clear as we come to the next full moon. And with the Piscean energy, it's like, I am all that is. I am a conscious co-creator of my reality. You know, my excitement presently is the choiceless path, which is the path my soul chose for me. I've been talking on TikTok about the difference between fourth dimensional density. People call it different things. I've explained my understanding of the two, again, in a different video. But let's just say 4D and 5D. What is the difference in terms of co-creating and seeing the world through each? And the bottom line is 4D is the realm of the mind, which will only exacerbate your nervous energy. If you're constantly thinking, you're trying to find solutions outwardly rather than checking in with your vibration and how you want to feel first and foremost before you pull in the structures to support that, then you're deferring outward, you're losing energy, you're leaking energy, and you're not trusting your innate ability to hold a frequency that will repel that which isn't for you and bring to you that which is. And recently, I have been working a lot with the energies of clearing of contracts, and particularly around the 3D contracts, the ones that have kept us bound to our family stories. And when you call something in, you are getting an answer straight away, but often it's not what you expect it to be, and you get cross. We get cross. We throw the baby out with the bathwater. So the divine is happening in everything, right? What occurs in our lives in any moment brings us to the moment we're in now. And if we're not enjoying our connections with others, this is an invitation to review that and question why. Now, in my coaching practice, I see people regress before they progress every time. I see people resist change, the very change they want, and come up with all sorts of stories as to why. And they're all surface level stories, right? I don't have time. I'm not that interested. I'm not feeling the call to it, whatever it is. But when we then go a little deep and say, okay, what could that be about? You know, might there be something more to this? Again, please take from what I said, if you ask, why is this happening? You'll get a response from your subconscious programming. If you ask, how can I support a better outcome? You will then connect to your highest self. So what do you want? What have I got here? Amanda's saying, don't know what I'm doing or what I could be doing. So stuck. Okay, so where do you feel the stuckness in your body, Amanda? Like, where is it? Where is it showing up? Because if you're feeling stuck, that stuckness is going to be relating to a particular energy center. So wherever you feel stuck in your body, and ask your body to tell you, that will tell you roughly the kind of emotions that are connected and the stories that are connected to what you're going through. Now, weight issues and addictions, I feel, have been prolific recently in the last few months. I know for me, when I stopped smoking, that was when I'd been, long story short, I had a load of IV antibiotics, which I never have. And that's really affected my gut. And it meant I put some kilos on. And that really had to make me face some unprocessed trauma around my teenhood, when I was quite significantly overweight and was bulimic as well. And I hadn't fully loved and accepted that part of me. And as it felt like I was moving towards that fullness again, it was like, you're going to have to radically love and accept yourself. Okay. Also recognize that weight is to do with waiting. So what are you waiting for? Addictions are to do with suppressing challenging emotions. Habits that are repetitive hamster wheelie type habits, that more, I want more, and it's never enough, are interestingly also working very closely with neurodiversity, is something I found. And it was all about self-acceptance. Everything that was coming up that felt like I couldn't control it, or I couldn't be at peace with it, or I couldn't overcome it, was asking for more love and approval. And as a result of that, and that willingness to love and accept unconditionally and make the small changes that will allow the big difference, things have started to shift. Weight's dropping, opportunities are coming about. All the things that have felt like I couldn't access before have shifted. So, yes. Okay. Well, there you go. That's why you're stuck, Amanda. You're in your head. Okay. So if you're in your head, you're in your past. You can only ever create the future from the past when you're thinking. So here's the thing. None of us can go straight from the head to the heart. Yes, you can do heart math. Yes, you can come into heart-brain resonance. But if you don't create safety in the body, you will defer to the brain every time. The brain connects you to the hive mind of the subconscious that is the collective subconscious. The collective subconscious presently is programmed for fear. So until we, and enough of us, significantly shift our programming so the collective subconscious can shift as well, then when we are not fully plugged in and switched on and tuned in, we can't help but buy into the hologram of illusion that is the matrix that everyone is seeking to escape. So the way you escape it is you become part of it and you transmute it. Got that? I think that's probably where we get to with this. So root and heart chakra. Okay, so if you find yourself in your head all the time, but you know that you're feeling this in root and heart, and this is just so others can benefit, there will be stories in the root that will relate to survival, material resource, finance, feeling safe in this world, feeling like we belong, and also the heart, which will be around feeling our emotions, allowing ourselves to be heart-centered, soul-influenced humans, and noticing when we come out of that. So we're all oscillating between 3D, 4D, 5D consciousness and beyond all of the time. What you focus on grows, right? What is the story you're telling yourself? What are you focusing on? And what are the pre-birth and early life influences that are currently playing out for you and limiting you from progressing? Because we all have this. And if you know regression precedes progression, you will never, ever, ever again look at those moments when you feel like you're going backwards as a bad thing. You will celebrate them and go, yes, change is happening. Also, when you are overwhelmed, guess what? You're out of familiar territory, right? You're learning something new and it's confusing and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. So what do we require? To come back to our center, to take a moment, to pause, to drop everything. I learned that in Naples when I couldn't do the things I'd intended to. And I had to let go of the videos. I had to let go of the answering client queries. I had to just totally switch off. And guess what? The world didn't come crumbling down. Isn't that interesting? So Rosie doesn't hold the whole world up on her own. Thank goodness for that. And we don't need everyone to see the world the way we do. Okay. What other people think of you is none of your business. What other people are doing, who cares? Wind your neck in. I don't mean this in a negative way. I just mean care about you. Do what you can in your own world and know that that will impact things in the collective. The final thing I want to say to this is that we all have different roles to play in this world. And some of us are here to literally use our passion for change, aka anger, to push the wall down, to pressure the old system to collapse, right? Notice I didn't say fight. There's a reason for that. Fighting keeps us divided. It doesn't mean we don't, resist and we don't allow ourselves to actually, there's another word, and I'm trying to remember what it is, but if you can think of some words, put them in the comments. Doesn't mean we just surrender and, lie on our backs and let terrible things happen. The surrender is a deep surrender within. We're not scared of death. Okay. The illusion of death doesn't faze us because we know we're eternal beings. And we just go, that's not happening on my watch. And anger is a very valid emotion when your boundary has been crossed. When someone's threatening your boundary, you responding in anger is a very valid response. So can you be at peace with that? We are seeing more fear mongering in the collective, but what I'm seeing is less and less people are buying into it. They're like, oh yeah, here we go again. Seen this one before. Yeah, sorry, mate, not buying into it this time. So there's less and less impact. Those that are trying to control the masses through fear, it ain't happening. However, the more we have a fear inside of us that we haven't cleared, the more challenging it will be. How to release it? Well, what I would say, Amanda, is book a desire mapping call with me and let's have a look. So anyone who is like ready to invest in a solution, I do have lots of free resources. Obviously, I show up here. I also have my TikTok videos, so you can ask me questions. We'll go there. There's the online multidimensional yoga that's a low-cost entry membership into what I offer. As part of the online yoga membership, you also get free access to the full moon healing and manifesting circle, so long as you show up live. Otherwise, you can choose the lower cost option to participate for the replay. And this gives you a sense of creating safety in your body first and foremost. If that's all that's available to you right now, definitely start there and come and join me. We do 2 live sessions a week, Tuesday mornings UK time 10 a.m, 1 o'clock on a Friday lunchtime. And of course, you can catch the replays. Got a huge bank of those. And creating safety in the body is how you amplify your energy field to receive more soul light. If you're ready for more, we have options that go from one-off sessions, as I said, to 6-month and 12-month programs where you get a really great, where you get, I don't want to say a discount, but it is a discount. If you decide to do everything together, then you will get, a beautiful gift as a result of that. Choosing my language very carefully. So yeah, I would really recommend you book a call so we can actually see where you are, where you want to be, and what's in the way. And this is where I'm going to let you know that presently I'm fully booked. I can't really take people on in terms of group format until well, it's going to be early November. Okay, so end of October to beginning of November is when we'll get going again. But it doesn't mean I can't get you started with stuff now to prepare you. But I'm taking calls now for people to start then. So if you're interested in payment plans, etc., the key is to do that. And again, you know, this world is full of niche. Who's your market? Who are you speaking to? Well, I work with the architects of the New Earth paradigm, who are the conscious creatives, the influencers, the way showers, the high profile public figures. That's the architect energy. I also work with the builders of the New Earth paradigm, who are the therapists, the healers, the coaches, the yoga teachers. Yeah, the people who are taking people from body and mind to heart. Right. And I work with the energizers, and the energizers are those of you who maybe don't have a budget to do deeper work, but are really keen to shift your focus. And there's so many ways to do that. They're all outlined on starpiececonsciousness.com. So please do utilize the resources available. I am going to leave that here, but what I will say is the next full moon, it is a world service, because as you clear and heal for yourself, you're doing it for the collective as well. It is a healing, a personal healing for you to love up the overwhelm so you can really transmute into excitement, energize your dreams, really coming into your reality as manifestations. And I call it a manifesting circle, because we're clearing resistance. We hold the vision of what we want, we reverse engineer it, and then we love up the shadow side of it so that it's much easier for us. So you can have a taste of that as well, and you will get results from it. For real changes to stick though in your reality, it is doing the deeper clearing and healing work, which is what I teach through my Fearless, Loved Up and Limitless program. So I'm really excited for what is coming. I'm excited for all of humanity, as well as for you all and for me personally, because the future is incredible. The future is so bright if we let it be. And it's making the decision in this now moment. Typically, you will not budge from where you're at unless you're really uncomfortable. So the fact that, Amanda, you're sharing here that, you know, you're feeling stuck, and also that, you know, it's trauma, but you don't know how to clear it. Things get more and more acute until we go, whatever it takes, I'll do it. And I might not be the right person for you. There will be someone for you, right? Invariably, when you move towards that which you desire, a way always reveals itself. And I truly believe in divine timing too. So if you want to know more about the full moon event on the 17th, we have two price options. It's 22.22 or 11.11, and that's pounds, not dollars. And you will have a co-creation meditation that you can listen back to repeatedly to let those energies anchor as a result of the time together. It's a reality crafting practice. And you will also have the opportunity to engage with me in Q&A, and really to receive a direct healing. Now, when you show up live, you'll feel it's very, very powerful as well. So I'm going to invite you to participate. You can go to rozyglow.com/events, so you can sign up for that. And if you would like to book a desire mapping call, as I said, that is a complimentary call you can access through rozyglow.com, the homepage. You also get, if you join our community, our mailing list, that is, you will receive the Thrive Paradigm audio, which is amazing. It's a really healing audio, and the Rainbow Gems. Now, the Rainbow Gems are soul guidance. They're little cards. These aren't the right ones because these are the oldies, but they're really little. Okay. And I am currently doing a daily reading on the Rainbow Gems on my Telegram channel. So once this video finishes, I'll put all the details I just shared in the text box, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. And if I haven't shared one that I said I would, just put it in the comments and I'll find it for you. Okay. Thank you so much for being here with me today and taking this message on, because as we change our view of the world around us changes. I really want you to take that on board. Please do that. And also, oh my goodness, I forgot to share this. Soul Speaks. So I am sharing a talk on the online Soul Speaks. It's the Awakening Leaders Summit. It's online, it's free. And this is on Wednesday next week. Yes, Wednesday the 11th. I have a slot from 5:35 to 5:55, 5:55, deep change. And it's all about the role of women, the impact of women in co-creating peace on earth. We have a very special role as activists, as influencers, as visionaries and way showers. So if you want to know more about that, I'll put the link to that as well. And there is an in-person summit in the 18th and 19th October, which I will be speaking at. And I'll be offering a much sort of deeper dive into how we can create peace in one generation and the role particularly of women. But if you are not a woman and you're watching this, please don't worry about that, because I work with star seeds. It's not gender based. It's really about us understanding that when we have that call, that's when I show up. So for now, I love you. Thank you so much for taking this time with me. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And do get yourself involved in the Telegram group and the TikTok channel and the YouTube channel so we can be everywhere and co-create this together. Thank you, amazing, beautiful beings. Take care for now.